everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Turnovers could play a large role in today's game as both defenses rank in the top 10 when it comes to forcing interceptions. It's the Patriots going up against the Steelers. So with that, let's get up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Today, two AFC teams set to do battle as we've got a good one in store between the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
They met here on the opening Thursday of 2015, and they're at it again here. The Steelers and Pats are underway. This one fielded at the 5. What a spin. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. And he's used to competition. Remember the class he came out of in 2004 with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers also available.
And how many do you think envisioned the greatness of that class at the time?
I don't think to the levels that we've seen. Potential, no doubt. But how many Super Bowls collectively have these guys won?
On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
Devin McCourty is one half of twins that can cover just about anyone in the league. A top-notch player who can play corner or safety.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Backing up. He's going to float this one deep right side. And oh, what a catch! And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran at the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And they're led out by their 4-time Super Bowl winning quarterback in his 17th season now for Michigan. It's Tom Brady.
If you want to see a guy who absolutely loves the game of football work, try and see Tom Brady at practice. It is absolutely fascinating. When he's not on the field with the offense, he's off on another field doing individual drills, staying sharp, staying in shape. This is a guy who says he wants to play 10 more years. He certainly works like it.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Again, here's Blunt. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And on this offense, a guy that kind of came in under the radar, Lewis.
Hard to believe that Dion Lewis was that far under the radar. There is something to precedent from schools. Played at Pitt, and they do know how to churn out running backs.
On second down, here's Brady. Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. And he's brought down. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
On first down, Brady. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
The competition to go to the Pro Bowl at safety is fierce in the NFL, but Rashad Jones makes his case year in and year out as one who should go.
Brady will try again on second down. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
10 yards to go on 3rd. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He's got time. He's got Cruz complete. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Brady gives now to Blunt. And he's brought down. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction it starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed, and that's exactly what he did on that play.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Brady going to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So now on 4th down, on comes Steven Gostkowski to try and get the Pats 3. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Out left side here to Bryant. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game at Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. I go all the way back to college with Le'Veon Bell, one of the better body transformations I've seen, from a big, thick power back to the guy we see now who can do everything.
And 2 years ago, of course, last year the injury, but 2 years ago over 1,300 yards. I think they think he can top that this year.
I don't think there's any question about it.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They go play action here on 1st down. Bryant with a catch right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll give the Steelers a 1st down.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
first down carry by Bell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Again, it's Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Looking for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
And Boswell's kick is good. 1 quarter down, 10-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Steelers defense getting ready here for this next possession. And last time out, they gave up the chip shot field goal, but obviously could have been worse than that. I think they felt pretty good about only giving up 3.
No doubt about it. Anytime an offense gets into the red zone, the thinking naturally for the defense is, okay, 3 points. We're going to give up 3 here, but let's make it no more than that. They met their goal.
On the other side, though, the offense, they weren't very happy.
No, because there's an opportunity. Once you get to the red zone, you're not thinking about kicking a field goal. You're thinking about how do you get it into the end zone, and when you don't, you walk off the field feeling a little bit of failure on that drive.
Yeah, who will have the better feeling at the end of this drive? Second down following the run.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember when playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get the 1st down here as he's up to the 14.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They come out here in the I. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They start on the ground here with Blount. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run again with Blount. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Brady toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Brady. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk complete. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 19. And that's good for a New England first down. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 18 on that one. And it'll give the Patriots a first down.
When you've got a big guy like that in your backfield who runs as a big man and breaks tackles, it is paramount for a defense to have extra defenders in his vicinity at all times. Because you got to figure he's going to break through the first guy. You're going to need tacklers 2, 3, 4 in order to get him down. Because if you don't, he can continue to run and run it really, really well.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Into the red zone, it's Brady. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Blunt, the lone running back. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
So give him 3 there. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks. And an electric scamper there from the 2nd-round pick in 2013 out of Michigan State.
And how about the way he's remade his body in the NFL? You remember him back at Michigan State? Big, thick, bruising runner. Yeah, he had some speed, he had some agility, but now he's slimmed down, and he's gotten even quicker, which has led to more runs like the one we just saw there.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. And he locates Wheaton, complete. And he's brought down after a good game. So 1:55 to go in the 1st half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this 1st half. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I'm not sure how many people anticipated Le'Veon Bell being such a huge part of the passing offense when he came out of Michigan State. Remember how thick he was? A big, bulkier runner? Slimmed down since he got to the NFL, and that increased all aspects of his game.
Yeah, because 2 years ago, he caught 83 passes. Last year, 24, but then he had the injury. You got to think they're going to continue to get him more involved like they did there.
I don't think there's any...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger looking for someone to throw to. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Here we go.
On second down, Roethlisberger got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Marcus Wheaton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Danny Amendola on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So they're operating in the red zone. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Brady, and he dumps it off to Blunt. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Brady again. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. LeGarrette Blunt as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he bangs it through and makes it a 17-13 ball game. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Steelers secondary has done a good job to slow down the passing game so far. The Patriots really did a good job in that area last week, but yardage-wise, they're not making the same kind of impression in today's game. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Now to late in the second. Wheaton's found on the quick pass, and finally on play 12, they score. Steelers go up by 11. Staying late in the second. The pass will be completed into coverage, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 50. Still late stages of the second. Quick pass and catch by Blunt. And it's caught for the score. This cuts the deficit to 4.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now Blunt. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Blunt. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. James White, the man he was looking for out of the backfield. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
So there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Here's Ryan Allen now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And some room to work. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. Slant route, caught by Edelman. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. Now a carry for Blount. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They were stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down Broadway. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So making 3 field goals for him now. And this last one tightens things up a bit.
And I know that offense is on the sideline right about now, checking out the tablets and saying, man, we let a good chance slip away there. We've got to start finishing some of these drives.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? I think that's what went down. I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head, there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant, and it's 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he comes back with one complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Martavis Bryant with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point now by Boswell. Oh, this is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
they can get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 2nd down, here's Brady. He's got time in the pocket. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Brady gives this one to Lewis. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I got 83. I got 83.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
So out comes the field goal team once more. From the right hash, this from 53. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, it can be a thankless job sometimes, but they'll be thanking their kicker here. That's now 4 field goals for him. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has, but this offense is going to need to find its rhythm because it's going to take more than field goals to win this football game.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Partner, that was a lovely corner route and a lovelier pass.
Put it right there in the breadbasket, didn't he?
Just dropped it right in there.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it the rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. This is Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
3 down.
A give to Bell. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He'll get the football here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here we go. Blue 30.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Finding time. And Bryant's got it over the middle. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're trying to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That'll be a gain of 16. And it'll be 4th down.
And that was a nice catch. And if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down. When you want 3, get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. To throw, it's Brady. Out on the right, this is Cruz. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And now a 1st down following that long gain. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10, surveying the field. He finds the tight end Harbor, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and just like that, it's 3rd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Now Brady, and incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here we go. Lock 80.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. On third down, Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Edelman set to return. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So the Patriots coming out now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now Brady throwing on second down. And this is incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target. And it's third down.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Brady going to throw. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Amendola catching it left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They come out here in the eye. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. So after the mistake by the offense, it cost them 5 yards. And now 1st and 15. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Julian Edelman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. And that score and the point after will knock this ball game up.
And when you're playing from behind, all you want to do is get back to even and, in a sense, start over again. That's exactly what they were able to accomplish.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. On the right side, caught by Green. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. He's got time. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
And they'll go on the ground. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. He's got time in the pocket. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. To throw, Brady. And Andola's got it, complete. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And that is incomplete.
Offside. Defense. Still second down.
2nd and 5. Bryant spread out to the right. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's brought down.
Holding. Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Here we go.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver, complete. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now it's Roethlisberger finding time. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. So the field goal unit is on the field. As now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So a driving rain, but he steps up regardless of that rain, puts it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
Yeah, and so many things can go wrong. The slightest slip, that could mean the ball game. But he hits it dead, solid, perfect.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.